Boom, this is another episode of Podcast on Pops, man. I want to give a shout out and a thanks to all 1,791 subscribers, man. We growing by the day. And here come Pops right here.
Whoa, wow.
We got
What's going on?
a big problem that we want to address that's going on in our everyday life and our communities. Like, I done heard this time and time again, like, after a funeral or something. So I'm going to kick it off with this. There are two things that are certain in life when you were born. That's taxes, because Uncle Sam and the IRS going to get theirs. They're going to get their money. They're not going to play with you. And death. When you born, you going to die. We want to address this weird thing that our people do that we find crazy. Why do people count and try to single out people who don't go to someone's funeral? That is the craziest thing in the world. People grieve and handle things differently. Maybe they want to remember them as happy and healthy and not in a casket. I feel when people do this, they are wrong because they should be focusing on themselves and their loved ones. If you're trying to find out who didn't come, you there for the wrong reason. You are there to celebrate the life of someone you love and nothing else. We need to focus on ourselves. And I think that's why, as a people, we have a lot of altercations and problems because we focus on other people and not ourselves. I just want to ask, can we stop doing this as a culture because that's very weird. And I'm going to look in the camera, that's weird activity. And I'm going to pass it to Pops.
Well, come to speak of that, I had an incident today. I was talking to a friend of mine. And he asked me when the last time I saw my cousin. I said, I haven't seen cuz. I haven't seen her in a minute. He said, cuz mad at you. I said, cuz mad at me for what? He said, cuz say you didn't come to grandma's funeral. She mad with you. I said, she mad with me. I said, when I was taking grandma all them fruits and the bananas, oranges, and apples, where she was. That's why I say, man, I have a problem with that because when someone dies, the transition's over, you always have family members and friends who mad saying who didn't show up at the funeral. The next day they saying he didn't show up, she didn't bother to show up. And I look at it like this here, man. When my mom died, years later my dad died, I didn't worry about who was at the funeral. We was worrying about taking care of burying our parents in the celebration of life. We didn't worry about who was at the funeral. If you worry about who was at the funeral, as long as you was at the funeral, you don't have to worry about nobody else.
That's all that matters.
And I think that shit is real petty. My son during a 17-year stretch, he told me one day, he said, Pops, you know when you die, I'm not coming to your funeral. I said, I don't give a fuck. I said, because I ain't gonna know nothing about it no way. You understand what I'm saying? You got to deal with that. But I think that's real petty when you in church doing a head count, when you supposed to be grieving and mourning the dead, you looking all around the church to see who in attendance.
Yeah, that's
I really think that is some weird shit.
true.
I really do.
I think they do that and they be kind of guilty because, like you said with your grandma, like I witnessed you bringing her fruit, and every time you'll come to Mississippi, you'll stop by her house before you even get to my house or my apartment. So I feel like they do that because they didn't pay their respects and show their love when that person
when they was there.
So now they trying to get to the funeral and pay their respect. You didn't already paid your respects
And
for
then
years on top of years.
The thing about it is, maybe you want to remember the people just the way they were.
Yeah. Because that'll scar somebody for life. You see your loved one laying in the casket, man. That mess people up for life.
I have problems, and I have family that I'm talking about that will come and tell other people he or she didn't bother to come to the funeral. Hey, man, as long as you was there, everything was good.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So we had to touch on that because that's what our people do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
And that's what I'm asking us to stop doing, because it don't matter who didn't show up. As long as you was there, that's all that matter. As long as you was in attendance, that's all that matter. You can let us know how the service went, how the funeral was. You ain't gotta, I'm mad at him because he ain't come. I stopped talking. That's weird activity. Come on now, like
like I said, that's that petty shit.
For real.
That's that petty shit. You know.
We gonna get into man Super Bowl picks. Super Bowl is closely approaching, man. We got the Detroit Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers.
4 teams left.
And we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to touch on the Detroit Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers. This game is closer than people think. The Lions got good momentum. They on the road right now. The Lions #2 in rush defense. But you know, we all know Christian McCaffrey a dog.
As well as Debo Samuel.
True.
Because he a one-man game.
Yeah, he a monster. Both of them monsters. And especially Christian McCaffrey running behind Trent Williams, man, that's a scary sight. The quarterbacks, man, Brock Purdy got 31 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Jared Goff got 30 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So they not too far apart. They real similar. The 49ers allowed 21 or fewer points 13 times this season. But the Lions allowed more than 24 points in their last 6 games. And the 49ers are a scoring machine. They got weapons all over the field. They got Debo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. And I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy going to make good decisions and not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, my pick for the first game is the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, they got too many weapons offensively. They could do it with Christian McCaffrey. They could do it with Debo Samuels. They could do it with Brandon Ayuk, man. George Kittle could do damage too. So
that's my pick, 49ers.
I mean, it could be a shootout at first, but the 49ers is not gonna stop scoring.
Yeah.
And they're gonna keep getting
in good
49ers.
San Francisco 49ers. That's my pick for the first game. Who you got to pick for your pick for the
second game? I'm not even doing none of that stat talk. But I do want to say this though. The Ravens. This what I was telling you the other day. The Ravens allowed the fewest points in the field. They allowed 16.5 points.
Yeah.
The Chiefs got Kelsey and Mahomes.
They got Patrick Mahomes.
But I'm saying Lamar Jackson is an MVP. He playing at an MVP level this season.
Yeah.
You can't doubt Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. But I mean,
well, hold on a minute. I'm gonna cut you off because I got to put favoritism in this matchup because you've been knowing Cladrick Edwards-Helaire ever since you was 9, 10 years old. We watched him play Pee Wee ball, so I can't go against the home team. You know he one of the running backs.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand what I'm saying? For the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, shout out Cladrick.
Shout out Cladrick Edwards.
Yeah, I played.
He
played a year ahead of me, so I watched him grow up. Like we used to call him Sweet Feet, Clyde Sweet Feet Edwards. But you can't doubt Patrick Mahomes, and that is the home team.
And then you gotta look at it. They went 6 years straight.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? See, I look at experience over everything.
And that's true.
I look at experience over everything. They went. You know.
If you stop,
6 and 7
if you stop, they running back number 10, and you stop Kelsey, who else you got? I mean, their receivers inexperienced. They drop a lot of balls.
If was a fifth,
so I got Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Man, I think the Ravens gonna pull off the upset.
I got the Kansas City Chiefs
because we got to think, man. They defense hold up. They defense for it tough, and we got somebody on the Ravens. I know he ain't as huge as he used to be, but look when Odell Beckham was in the Super Bowl with the Rams. Yeah. He cut up until he got hurt. So I think Odell Beckham gonna step up. I think Lamar Jackson gonna ball out of control. Like I said, I ain't got no stats like really for this. Yeah. But I just think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens gonna go crazy.
I think it's gonna be the Chiefs of the 49ers. So.
But I will say this: I don't think it's gonna be no blowouts on Sunday. No matter what, I think it's gonna be like 3-point games or 1-point games. So I think it's gonna be a good Sunday for football.
Super Sunday.
Yeah. So he thinks it's gonna be the
49ers and the Chiefs.
And I think it's gonna be the 49ers and the Ravens. So let's see.
We gotta see. We gotta see what's going on. What's happening with it?
Yeah.
Any words of encouragement? Any words of the day?
Let me see. Motivation. Let me see. focus on yourself. Like, stop looking at. That's how. Like I said earlier, a lot of problems happen, and you miss a lot of stuff because you focusing on other people and you're not focusing on yourself.
My word of the day is stop bickering over bullshit and focus on oneself.
Life too short.
Life too short to be focused on somebody else. Look in the mirror and work on your own shit.
True.
That's all I got to say.
Peace.
Peace.